Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we have some very important short-term bullish news to talk about in today's video because, as you guys will probably be aware, I have made some predictions that Bitcoin is likely going to pull back to $10,500 over the next week or so. That all was right up until the point that we saw a 9 flash on the TD sequential. Not a bearish 9 flash, but in fact a bullish 9 flash. A green 9 flash on the daily chart showed up yesterday in accordance with a couple of other bullish technical indicators and bullish technical scenarios that we may see play out on Bitcoin. We need to start wondering, was I right on my call? Are we actually going to pull back down to 10.5? Or are we about to have a bullish reversal? We want to find out whether or not I was right or wrong before we actually find out whether or not I was right or wrong so that we can actually make some trades based off of it. So guys, in today's video, we are going to be looking at a plethora of different technical indicators, including the green flash on the TD sequential that we saw yesterday, to come to a conclusion about where Bitcoin is heading next. Guys, this video is going to bring you a lot of value about short-term technical analysis, and I think you guys are going to get a lot of great value out of it. If you do, as always, make sure to tickle the like button down below and make sure it turns blue. If you do that, I will be very appreciative. Also, it's come to my attention that nearly 40% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. I am looking at you. I am aware that you're not subscribed. I am aware that you are a toxic Bitcoin maximalist like I am, and that you really should be subscribed, but you're not. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel. Guys, before we get started, I want to mention that this channel is supported in part by the Bybit referral link in the description down below. If you guys are already going to be signing up for Bybit anyway, why not use our link down below and help to support the amazing projects that we have going on behind the scenes right now. You guys are about to start seeing a lot of those starting on Tuesday of this coming week. So if you'd like to help with that, sign up for Bybit with the link in the description down below. Full disclaimer, if you're not a professional trader and you haven't been here for a couple years, I would encourage you to stay away from leverage trading. Anyway, with all of that said, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I'm not going to keep asking you guys because it's going to get redundant after a while. It's probably redundant today anyway, but I think that was a better one. I really do. I think that was a better dive right on into it. I might be wrong. Let me know. Yesterday's was pretty good. I got a lot of 8s and 9s in the comments section. Anyway, phooey on that, guys. We have some important TA to do today because Bitcoin is actually trading at $11,500, which is actually a very good thing. I'm happy about this, and we're going to be discussing that starting right about now. As you guys can see, we have seen a green flash on the TD sequential. On yesterday's candlestick, August the 27th, 2020, we saw that 9 flash coming in on the TD. If you guys aren't familiar with the TD sequential, you might be new to our channel, so make sure you subscribe. The TD sequential is essentially a fancy candlestick counting algorithm that tells you when you should be expecting a reversal on the market. If we look over the last year or so of price action on Bitcoin, we'll see that 9 flashes on the bullish side for the TD sequential have been relatively accurate, as we saw right here and right here. And we'll also see that red 9 flashes on TD sequential, like we saw right there, and there have been pretty accurate in predicting bearish corrections. This one, not so much. Without getting too deep in the historicity of the TD sequential, we can say for a pretty good amount of certainty that the TD sequential is, at the very least, somewhat accurate and normally very accurate. There are some things that can happen to the TD sequential to reset it that don't actually do what you would think the market would do. For example, for Bitcoin to reset this 9 flash on the TD sequential, we could trade up for 2 days and then keep going down, and that's not really what it's calling for, but that would reset it. Nevertheless, 9 flashes on the TD sequential are definitely something you need to pay attention to, especially when they're counterindicators to what you have been saying. And by you, I mean me, because in yesterday's video, I doubled down on my prediction that Bitcoin is going to $10,500. And now we're seeing a 9 green flash on the TD sequential, and we're also seeing this. Following that 9 flash on the TD sequential, we see a green candlestick right here. And that's not just any ordinary green candlestick, because that's rallying up here to test the 20 daily EMA. Guys, remember, the 20 EMA is a very important technical indicator. As you can see, we bounced off of it many times in recent memory. And when we fell below it, we had a major correction below it. So if this 9 flash even leads to Bitcoin getting above the 20 DEMA in the next 2 days, it could result in a new bout of exuberance and a new rally coming into the market. Now, when I made my prediction that we're going down to 10.5, we were sitting at around $11,800 to $12,000. So I may have been right in the sentiment and wrong on the price target. That might be what ends up happening here. And if it does, hooray. But we're going to come to that conclusion here in a little bit. Because it's not just those two factors, it also has to do with what's going on down here on the hourly chart. As you guys can see, we can draw some trend lines in just this formation right here and see that yesterday Bitcoin was in a descending wedge. These normally break in the opposite direction of the direction they are facing. It's facing this way, so it broke this way. It's normally a counter trend indicator and is normally a reversal indicator, and we have seen Bitcoin break to the upside out of that. That's actually very good news. Something to keep in mind, though, is that Bitcoin hasn't really broken its major downtrend of resistance on the hourly chart, which is this one, just yet. Watch out for that. It may even happen by the time this video goes out, but it's something you need to be paying attention to. No matter which way you slice it, though, Bitcoin is still in an hourly chart downtrend right here, and what happens in the next few hours, whether we reject or break out, is going to determine whether or not we head back to 10,500, at least in my opinion. Because if we break to the downside down here, then one of two things could happen. Either we could bounce at our uptrend, creating a very, very powerful inverse head and shoulders pattern and rally to the upside, or we could break that as well and head to the downside. So if you go back and amalgamate what I just said, there's really three scenarios, and two of them are bullish. One, Bitcoin breaks the short-term downtrend on the hourly chart. Two, it rejects from it, creates an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then rallies anyway. And three, we break the uptrending level of support and we head down to a price target that is still 10.5. Two of those three scenarios are bullish, so what gives? One thing we also have to keep in mind is that even though Bitcoin is a little bit bullish on the daily chart, we do still have very low volume. And we also must keep in mind that Bitcoin has now come down and bounced off of the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. Also keeping this in mind, guys, as you can see, there is a very proper descending wedge on the daily chart RSI, and overnight we have broken bullish out of it right there. So too, we are starting to see convergence on the daily chart MACD. So this all kind of leads me to my actual conclusion, which is I very well may be wrong. We don't know that yet, however. I am being very tempted to switch my tune to bullishness right now instead of sticking with my guns around 10.5. However, I'm going to tell you the one reason that I'm not doing that, and the reason for that is because I had a lot, and I mean a lot, of technical, fundamental, market-based, and wisdom-based reason to believe that Bitcoin is pulling back to 10.5. However, we must also understand that when our ideas of what the market is going to do become outdated and we are proved wrong, we need to change on a dime. So I'm not leaving behind my prediction of 10.5 today, but depending on what happens tomorrow, there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to, put it that way. Things in the last 24 hours are looking bullish. But keep in mind, guys, don't get misled by this. Sometimes things that happen in the last 24 hours look bullish, and they look like they're about to cause a trend reversal, and it looks like there's about to be some kind of major movement that you were wrong about, and then it doesn't happen, and it turns out you were right. Sometimes you kind of get scared out of your position, and it's just shaking out the weak hands. So I'm going to stick to my guns for one more day about Bitcoin pulling back to 10.5. We're going to see what happens here. If Bitcoin starts getting above that downtrending level of resistance on the hourly chart, if it starts getting above the 20D EMA in the next day, really 2 days is what I want to see. We start seeing a bullish cross on daily chart MACD. We see an uptrend on RSI for daily chart. We see us breaking up and testing the upper band of the Bollinger Bands. If we start seeing things like that, I'll definitely be bullish. But until we start to see just a little bit more, I am going to stick to my guns about Bitcoin pulling back to 10.5. But I have a feeling I'm about to be proved wrong. And if I am, I will be the first to tell you, because I am not ashamed when I'm proven wrong. I look at it as a learning opportunity, because the greatest way to find success is to find failure. Fail fast, fail hard, and fail to learn, not fail to earn. Guys, I hope you got some good value out of today's video, and I hope you walk away from this video understanding the importance of being able to swallow your pride and admit when you're wrong. I'm not convinced I'm wrong yet, but as soon as I am, I will tell you, and I will admit it, and I'll say, yes, I'll shout it from the rooftops. I was wrong. It happens. And I want to normalize that, because we shouldn't hate when people are wrong, because people are always going to be wrong. You're wrong sometimes, I'm wrong sometimes, and that's just how life is. Whenever you're right, you don't learn much. Pai Lopez quoted someone else as saying, when you succeed, you party, but when you fail, you ponder, and it's in pondering that you grow. And that is so true. So guys, we'll see what happens in tomorrow's video, but keep a weather eye out on that downtrend on the hourly chart. Keep an eye out on that daily chart 20 EMA, because if Bitcoin starts breaking above those levels, that might be a long position entry point. I'm not going to talk about it in today's video, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. If you guys are interested in that, tell me in the comment section down below, and we will make that video tomorrow. Guys, before we go, I do want to ask you, if you enjoyed today's video, hit that thumbs up button, and also consider subscribing. We're trying to get to 75,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we want you to be part of that journey, guys. We have some amazing projects going on behind the scenes. I cannot wait to start unveiling some of this stuff to you, and I'm so excited. The next couple of years are going to be a wild ride, and I promise you it is going to be for your benefit, and that's why I'm so excited. So guys, I'm just really pumped up. I'm so pumped. I can't even tell you. I promise you it's not the coffee because I'm pumped up even when I'm not drinking coffee, which you guys don't see me without coffee very often. That's pretty funny. You guys only see me when I'm hopped up on caffeine. I'm okay with this. Anyway, guys, like I said earlier, this channel is partially sponsored by Bybit. If you guys would like to help support the channel, you can use our Bybit referral link down below. Like I said in the intro and a little disclaimer, be careful with leverage trading. If you've been here for a couple years and you're consistently profitable not using leverage, then consider using leverage because you can multiply your gains quite a lot if you're using leverage trading over on Bybit. But it is also very risky. So if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. But if you are ready for it, it is a good way to make more money. So if you want to help to support the channel, you can use the Bybit link down below. Will help to support us quite a bit. But anyway, guys, that is more or less going to wrap it for today's video. I do want to mention that the price of CT2A will be increasing on September the 1st. So if you want to get into the Academy before that happens, I would encourage you to join with the link in the description down below today. Anyway, more on that in future videos. That is going to have to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.